Welcome to the 5 best restaurants in Glendale, California. If you're looking for a different Glendale like Arizona, this is not it. I'm sorry that the algorithm led you here. Um, so JP and I have done a ton of just kind of like day trips and weekend trips around the LA area. We lived in Anaheim for like almost 10 years. He's lived his whole life there. Used to work in Burbank and Glendale, so he was kind of familiar with things already, and then I kind of found some places as well. So it's a little bit of combination of everything. All of these are in Glendale. One's technically kind of Glendale adjacent, but I figured it was close enough to include in here. So the first one, it's first because it is like the one that you should definitely do if you do nothing else. Tam O'Shanter is an old like British inn tavern kind of thing. And it's kind of fine dining. Like it's fine dining quality food, but it is a more relaxed environment since it's like tavern style. As part of the Lowry's prime rib group, we actually got married at a Lowry's restaurant in Orange County called Five Crowns, which is in the same style. So the claim to fame here, Walt Disney used to go here and has a booth that he preferred to dine in, and you can still dine in that booth today. You can always go and ask, but it is, quite popular, so it's not really guaranteed, but it's always worth a shot. So obviously we've gone a handful of times over the years. JP's go-to drink is an old fashioned. He gets it pretty much everywhere we go, and they have really good ones here. You can see in the photo. They also do a complimentary bread service with your meal. Here it's just kind of like this big fluffy like sandwich bread type of thing, but it's still good like with the salted butter. One time we ate outside on the patio, which was really nice, especially just like in the daytime, because you can kind of see this part in here was like covered. So like you're in the shade, you're not like sitting out directly in the sun or anything like that. And it was just like a nice view. It's nice and scenic. Their deviled eggs are very good. I highly recommend them. And they also have a really good wedge salad. I never really order wedge salads, and it wasn't until we got it here that I was like, oh, that's why it's called a wedge salad. But all the different like topping combos are really good. And then usually what we do when we go here or the other Lowry's places, JP will get the prime rib dinner, which usually comes with like mashed potatoes and Yorkshire pudding, and sometimes I think usually you can choose between creamed corn or creamed spinach. We always get creamed corn because creamed spinach is disgusting. But then I'll add on like a side of mac and cheese because I don't eat prime rib. So I just kind of eat some of his sides and like snack on some appetizers and have my little mac and cheese and then some dessert. I have a photo of the prime rib somewhere. I need to find it and make a new video to add in here. But it's pretty much the same that you would get from any of the Lowry's restaurants. It's not all that different. Another great place is, it's even in the name, the Great White Hut is a local chain, and they have locations throughout like Glendale, Burbank, Hollywood area. They've been around since the 40s. It's literally like this little walk-up hut, and they do like breakfast all day, and they have burgers and loaded fries and just that kind of stuff. So their breakfast burrito is really good. It's nice and convenient to be able to get something like good quality, like on the go, basically. And then these are the carne asada, like loaded fries that also have like bacon and cheese and all that stuff. Those are good for sharing. And then this is the burger. I think this was like a hangover burger type of thing because it's got like the egg in it. But everything we've had here is really good, especially for it being just like a little quick service like hut on the street. Porto's Bakery is also a local chain. They're in Glendale, Burbank, Northridge, Buena Park, and then there's a few others kind of scattered around. They have a little bit of everything. They're most known, I feel like what's most popular is their potato balls and their ham and cheese croquettes. So they all kind of look the same. The potato balls are literally like just a little ball. The ham and cheese croquettes are more like elongated. One time at the Northridge location, they had like a little pastry that was filled with guava, and that was like really good and like light and refreshing. I really enjoyed that. You can also get like savory foods like sandwiches. You can get like a Cuban sandwich. Those are pretty good. The only thing Literally the only thing I don't recommend from here is their king cake. They only make them with like the cream cheese fillings. They don't make plain cake. And the cream cheese filling is just so gross to me, and that's just not normal king cake. So I don't know why they do that. But I don't like it. So I don't like their king cake, but I would get anything else here. So here's kind of like the potato balls and the ham and cheese croquette, um, the guava pastry. Um, this is one of the places we kind of take anyone like when they come to visit, as like a little snack. This box in particular actually was when we were on our way to the Eras tour, and we were taking my sister, and she had never been to the area, so we grabbed some treats before we headed out. Another local chain is Yoshinoya. They're in like the LA and Orange County area, and it is like the perfect rainy weather, cold weather, winter kind of food. So like January, February is really when this just hits so good. So this is what it looks like. If you get the beef bowl and put it on rice, it has a little bit of like not really like a sauce, but it kind of whatever the liquidness kind of seeps into the rice and mixes really well. And since it's got like the onions and stuff, and I usually will get like brown rice or like noodles or something when I get this kind of thing anywhere else, but this specific combination on the white rice like really works the best. We would get this a lot. There's a location in LA. We would go to the Masked Singer tapings, and I think it was when they had moved. I don't know, they've moved around a lot, but there was a particular studio that they were at for a few years. And when you're turning right to leave and you kind of go around the block, there's a Yoshinoya there and it's open late. So we would get it for like the ride home all the time. And it is just delicious. If you've never had it, I highly recommend it. And then, of course, In-N-Out. If you've never been to In-N-Out, this is a great place to try it. My order, I get a single cheeseburger with grilled onions and animal style fries. JP and I always share the fries because it's kind of a lot altogether, just like for one person. But JP will get a double double and a strawberry milkshake. He likes to indulge a little bit more. And then of course we share the animal style fries. So yeah, those are our most recommended places to go to in Glendale if you find yourself in that specific area. Some fun things to do nearby. So Glendale has a lot of really good shopping, but what else is there is Walt Disney's gravesite at the Forest Lawn Memorial Park Cemetery. There's actually a ton of celebrities buried there, honestly, because a lot of them obviously live nearby. But in our post on secret spots in Los Angeles, I cover all these little, random things that most visitors probably don't go to do, if they're only there for like a day or two. But when you kind of live in the area, you can explore a little bit more. And then also you have Universal. They have a ton of new stuff recently and some new stuff opening soon. In the fall, I definitely recommend checking out Knights of the Jack up in Calabasas and also Carved at Descanso Gardens. And then in the winter, the LA Zoo does holiday lights in the evening. This is a picture here of Walt Disney's gravesite at the cemetery. Their whole family, like whole immediate family, is buried here. Last thing is I do have a list of our favorite restaurants in some other areas around LA. So I have Burbank, Hollywood, Beverly Hills, Westwood, and the Fairfax district. And then I have one other one for just Los Angeles in general that has everything that's not in these other posts. So none of them have crossover or anything unless it's like a chain like In-N-Out or something that I, recommend that, most tourists coming to California want to try In-N-Out. So obviously, I gotta tell you what to get from In-N-Out. But that is everything I have for our favorite restaurants in Glendale.